The starting point is I think that two things can be true. I think marriage can be a beautiful thing. I think it could be very helpful. I think it can be a blessing. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the experience of a lot of men that are divorced, a lot of men who came from broken homes, and a lot of men who's actually out in the dating market trying to find women that they could see the relationship lasting with for the rest of their lives. Two things could be true. And I think that's probably the biggest issue with the space is people tend to pick a side and not acknowledge the other side and their strengths or the legitimate arguments that are on the other side. Women have changed, men have changed, roles are questioned and redefined and changed. The divorce incentives with the family court system and the incentives they have in place, they want situations to end up in family court so they can get their cut. There's a whole host of players and things way beyond just the individual couple that wants men and women to stay apart. And whether it's political agendas, business agendas, etc., and just the reality of how a lot of relationships have unfolded, all of those things are actually happening. My view, honestly, is one that I don't think marriage is for everybody. I don't think relationships are for everybody. I'm more interested in each person being honest with themselves about what they want, what they're willing to offer, and whether or not they're truly in it for the right reasons. Once you know the answers to that and the other party is aware what those answers are, it's just about whether or not you're in alignment. That's my first view. And number two, the way in which we're defining what it means to be married is something that's very Americanized and very cultural. Whereas if the American government up to this point hadn't made it to where you had to do something with the state, and the state had so much say over both the marriage and or granting a license and or if the marriage doesn't work out, we'd have a different definition of what it means to be married. There was religious marriages. There was just cultural ones amongst tribes. And because we live in a modern nation state, what we have in our heads is one that we adopted in the later, more recent part of human history as it relates to the state. Obviously we've grown up in an environment where if you're not legally married with the state, then you're not married. And I think what's happening is men are adjusting. They're adjusting to the market. They're adjusting to the laws not adjusting quickly enough, and they're reevaluating all of these things. And I don't shame or fault people for any of it. I came from a broken home. I was previously married before. So I see it all. I've helped men that's gone through divorce, helped people with really bad breakups, and our current system as it relates to the state isn't designed to protect marriages or protect people, let alone protect men. In the confines of an actual legal relationship, especially. There's a lot of factors at play. I think if the laws won't adjust, men are going to, en masse, I think, continue to try to do what they think in their season of their lives makes the most sense. My hope and goal is that they can do it with integrity, with honesty and transparency, and that the women that are in their lives are understanding of what that is and what he's able to offer. And if she's okay with it,